Out here we deal with the hand of a person who came to me for a reading, and we look at two areas, the amount of Venus and the amount of Mars. Looking at the amount of Mars, we find this is the amount of Mars. We find many lines crisscrossing. This is not one of the best indications to have. When I saw this hand, I realized that the energy utilization might not be good, and lots of anger at wrong places. This is the left hand. Again, we find similar indications. Lines are crisscrossing. Too many lines are crisscrossing. So the conclusion I made was that he might not be good at in sports, because for sports basically this area, the amount of Mars and the amount of Venus both are very important. Amount of Venus is basically full of energy, like something like we can equate it to ghee, to butter, and amount of Mars is basically fire, the aggression. These are simple terms I am just giving so that you understand. So the combination of the Venus, the energy part, and the fire part makes a person to be a good in sportsman. The amount of Venus was prominent, but Mars, as we see, is badly marked. So I told him that he's not good at aggression, and he gets angry over tribal issues. And he did mention during the reading that he was a sports captain, and this basically shocked me, and I realized how come it is not showing in the palm. But later he realized, I realized, and he confessed that after school he left sports completely, and he was a sports captain, and he also said there were many more people who were better than him. And still he was made the captain, probably due to some other things, like we see, if we see out here that the amount of Jupiter was appearing to be very prominent, and the amount of Venus, amount of Mercury is also prominent. So this is for communication, good communication, and this is for good organizational skills, and this is for good being a person who would remain in power for a long duration of time. We find that the headline, this is the headline, and this is the headline. So we realize that these headlines are basically targeting towards basically the amount of Jupiter. And if the headline is targeting towards the amount of Jupiter, it means that the person would get high position. He mentioned that he would either be made the school captain or the sports captain, but he was made the sports captain. And so in this way, I'll just show you the right palm again. Here too we are seeing that there are few perpendicular lines over the amount of Mercury, which is a very good sign, being a good communicator. So probably during his captaincy he was able to strategize and calculate in a very good way, and the amount of Jupiter we find this is the amount of Jupiter, we find an upward line. So this basically gives a person high position. Probably that's why he was made the captain. So this was the only aspect I wanted to share with everybody. So in spite of having a bad Mars, still you can rise up to high position even in sports. This amount of Mars is basically for fiery nature, the aggression part, and this shows a person to be a very strong personality, but at the same time the opposite too, a fearful person too. If this area is badly marked, it might indicate fears in that particular person's life, and fear can be of any kind. So that's it for this particular video. If you did like the video, click on the like button and do share. Thank you very much.